My name is Basil Oluo. I'm originally from a town called Obibi in Nigeria. That's in the south end of Nigeria. I currently live with my family in Columbia City here in the south end of the city. So, uh, fan the embers of this unity. I see people focus more on segregation and all of these negative things. I just laugh because none of these people knows what it really feels like to be in a community where all you see is war, is violence, a community where there is no peace. So if you do have peace wherever you are, value it, enjoy it, because a lot of us do not know what that looks like anymore. Peace, you mean? I'm still searching for it. I hope that I find it. First of all, you have to want peace. You have to appreciate the tranquility that comes with peace. And if you're someone who loves to go home, have a good sleep, have a meal, retire at the end of the day, then you begin to value peace. And you know that in life, you get what you give. So for you to want to build peace, you have to appreciate what peace is. You have to really understand that peace is priceless. And the moment you get to that point, then you can begin to talk to people about peace. What I have seen here is that a lot of people have a misconception of what peace is. They focus more on the related things, the things that are related to peace, than peace itself. Peace is it's all about, the freedom to wake up, the freedom to go to sleep when you want to go to sleep, the freedom to eat, the freedom to not be scared when you hear a banging sound, like the freedom to say that this is my life, this is what I appreciate my life to be, and this is what I want it to be. There are people who do not have the choice to exist in that space. And if you do not understand that that little thing that you neglect is the basic, is the foundation of peace, then you cannot advocate for it. So people advocate for other things thinking that they are advocating for peace. So for me, we have to get back to understanding what peace means to us. Like, how do you feel peaceful as an individual? You can now translate that into your society, into your community. So that's where you should begin, and then you can talk about the things that would make peace endure. All of those contributed to that. I come from a community that is heavily rural. It's a very rural community. It's cut off from the city. It has no roads. It has no electricity. It has no water supply. And of course, no education, and all of that. So the understanding of people varies. People are more interested in what to get, what to gain, from an immediate conversation than what would happen in the long term. So greed, battle for supremacy, identity, servitude, poverty, hunger, illiteracy, lack of access to information about where life is and where life is headed to. All of that put together, made these people redundant. Like unemployment, they were basically available for any sort of, societal ills that you could imagine. And they were very vulnerable. So people who realized that they were vulnerable, came in with money, pushed them into doing stuff that ordinarily they wouldn't do. And these people had no choice but to do this because they were vulnerable. Someone who wants food, someone who, wants money. And then you come up to them and say, if you can help me fight that person, I'm going to give you money. They would go do that. The interest is not in fighting someone. The interest is in working for a means of livelihood. So people have been brainwashed to think that in wanting these things, you can do anything. And so that blew up. It became like this group against that group. Because the moment you mobilize these people to fight against this person, that person mobilizes another group to fight against this person, you already have two groups fighting against themselves. And they do not even understand the reason they are fighting. Like none of them has an understanding of why it is they are fighting. They just have been pushed. So that's what happens when a society is segregated, is neglected, is marginalized. When there are no, when there is no access to the basic necessities of life. So people become vulnerable to this kind of things, and so my family here is from here. So this is my part of the family that's from here. Yes. So my part of no. My mom is still back in Nigeria. My dad is late, but my brother and my sister and my stepmom are here. So everyone from my place has no home right now. What we seek is a place that would let us make, that place our home. Like we are seeking for a place to call home. And that's not just me. That's for everybody who's from OBB. We are refugees all over the world. All over. I have family members that I haven't seen in 7-8 years. Like people that I've lost contact with. Like I don't have their phone numbers. I don't know where to go find them. That's how bad it is. So it's not about me wanting to make this place my home. It's whether this place would accept me to make this place my home. So I've had some very wonderful experiences. I've met some very good people. I've talked to some very good organizations and all of that. But I've also experienced the other side of this, which isn't something that I like to highlight because for me that's not worth mentioning. But yeah, I've had mixed feelings. Yeah. But I like to be on the positive side now. It would be participating in community events like this. That's completely lacking here. There's no community life here, and it's shocking. It's difficult for people like me who grew up, knowing everyone in my community, seeing them as my flesh and my blood, building my friendship and all of that within that community, and then coming to a society where you don't even say good morning to your neighbor, like your neighbor doesn't know you. So it's a bit difficult. So if there's anything I would commit 100% of my time to do for 1 hour is to try to recreate that kind of community. Like a situation where people just sit and chat, and just love themselves without looking for any pecuniary gains. Just be humans, have interactions, have human interactions.
Personally, I feel like we don't have enough of just being.
Yeah.
So it's more focused on doing.
Yeah. 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 Thank you.